Hello everybody and welcome back for another lovely day with another lovely couple of casts in Steel Division League season of number 5, please, in Steel Division 2. And we come back to another really cool match. We will jump into the last remaining week 1 match in Division 1. It will be Yue Jin versus JKW.
Here we go.
I top my head and say mercy to Mr. Elod for supporting this channel for already such a long while. 9 months. 9 months. I will soon need new tigers, new colors for the lovely tigers, or new things on the tigers at least, for the 1 year plus subscribers. I have to work on that. Okay. So, yeah, we will jump into that game. Should be a pretty fun one. As we are on Slot Quest, and we have 2 pretty different divisions coming around. On the one side, we have Yue Jin, on the always famous 3rd Guards Mechanized. Played a lot, really cheap combined arms, really good in the aggression. Then we have the bit more defensive, but also really strong division at the moment, the 12S. And on Slot Quest, they are on good turf to use their Panthers and so on the long ranges. So it should be an interesting one. Obviously, JKW always trying to get into the late game to get his combined arms up. And the 3rd Mechanized will try to stop that. And last season, in Division 2, Yue Jin stopped a lot of people from getting their combined arms up. Especially with 3rd Mechanized there as well. He's really good with that division. So let's see if JKW can stop him, or if Yue Jin once more will rush through. Both sides are on Vanguard. And as I said, Slot Quest is the map. So here we go. There's 3 other series that I still have to cover as well. Try to do them chronologically. So, yes, we will have Yue Jin versus JKW. Afterwards, we will have Wesley versus Jada Boy. And then, I guess the other 2 series that will be Neff versus Nilla and Wesley versus Pixie, I will have tomorrow or on Thursday. Hello there, Reef. How you doing? Chat is already really lively. So, yes, JKW and Yue Jin, 2 of the guys that will have to show if they can make it to the playoffs in this division. 2 of the guys that are strong, but a bit on the lower end of a group that is obviously really really rough, with Nilla, with Neff, with obviously Gonzo in it as well. So they have to show if they are actually capable of making it to the playoffs. Also, Grey Fox, last season's 3rd place, is there as well. So it's really a tough division to fight through. And we will have to see if these 2 can stand a chance. And obviously winning this series would help quite a bit. Winning against the other contender will give you quite a bit of an edge on the way there. So we will have to see if these 2 will manage. Let's have a quick vote. Don't vote if you already know who wins. Let's have a quick poll. Who do you think? Please don't spoiler anything in the chat. But yes, let's have Twitch chat for all the people who don't know how it will end. Let's have a 5-minute poll about who do you think will win this game. But yeah, thanks for the heads up, Time to Collision. Means I my list of the games I have to cast gets even longer and longer. And my chances of casting anything outside of Division 1 gets smaller. But I want to have all of these games up. I want to have a full coherent list of all the Division 1 games up on YouTube, up on Twitch. Because these games are just too good to not be covered. The Division 1 gameplay this season is really, really enjoyable for me at least. And from the viewership on YouTube and on Twitch, also for a lot of you guys, so we'll try to bring the best. Will I see some Proto slain on the ladder today? A lot, we will have to see. We have something else planned later today at 7:30 p.m. I will switch over to Time Collisions channels and talk a bit with him there. Other than that, yeah, we will have to see. Maybe if we still have time, maybe some Steel Division, maybe some War Thunder, or some War in the Pacific, or War in the Sea. Not War in the Pacific. War in the Pacific is too big. But yeah, let's get into this game. In the meantime, we have some Guardias. We have a lot of Speerwagen 233s all around, but they're not good against Shermans. So I don't like them too much against 3rd Mech. We also already have a Panther in the north, which is fine Panther territory, so I don't think that's too much of an issue. Panthers against 3rd are okay, better than against many other divisions, for sure better than against German divisions with Panzer Force, but obviously only usable on Slutsk. If you use them on more CQC focused maps, like Orsha North or so, Panthers are still pretty shitty, even against a division like 3rd Mech. But here they should do fine, if JKW uses them correctly. Yue Jin already going up to 1311 though, pushing in over here, not contested by JKW at all. He gives up that easily, as he also, yeah, losing the flag down here. Brings in a bit of forces there. Yue Jin not heavily committing there. Gets his 3 in the forest though. His Guardias maybe took the wrong way here. Getting eaten in the open. That's a bit of a big blunder there. Not quite sure where he wanted to go. If you really wanted to send him the long way around, you can't do that with normal transports. You can do it maybe with Jeeps. Jeeps can get here via the fast route, but not with normal transports. They always will get hit by enemy AT, enemy tanks, or MGs. So, yeah, these Guardias were a bit of a useless sacrifice, it feels like. JKW actually bringing it back to a 12-12. Meanwhile, Flak 41 and Panther D's coming in. And then Luck 3 trying to come in here. Not really doing any bombing run though. Valentine's and Amchas coming in for Yue Jin as well. And JKW starts to set up his well-known combined arms. Surprised to see way less, like, he hasn't brought out a single Möbelwagen this season. He seems to rely way more on Flak 41s now. Usually last season the first unit he brought out, sometimes in deployment, was a Möbelwagen for the AA department. Now it's a Flak 41 in the first 3 to 5 minutes that is starting to set up his AA defenses. His airplay is pretty solid. The air micro itself isn't the hottest, but he has good timings and he has a nice combined arms with his AA, so it's scary to play in the air against him. I certainly lost once or twice already in ranked against it, but I also have beaten it, so it's not impossible to beat his airplay. I would rank him for sure below someone like Pixie, but above someone like Quattro U. MG42 over here. Starting to hit the Guardias. And 12-12 continues. Storm Pioneer Hitlerjugend coming in to the forest in the south. And the 12-12 continues on. Valentine's rolling in. I'm just on the retreat down here. Ooh. People voting for JKW here, okay. Believing in the 12 SS. The win record of 3rd Mechanized is pretty good, so... And it's a really scary division. Some people out there see it as the strongest division on the field at the moment. I'm not quite sure if it is really the strongest, but it is for sure in the top 3 of the divisions out there at the moment. Guess it also depends on the map a bit, but it's one of the best well-rounded divisions. I still guess at the moment that 3rd OP is a bit better, because it has some more half-tracks and so on. But it's for sure really, really, really strong. It has Shermans, it has the Su-76 and Su-85s, which are good at the moment. And it has a really good infantry tab. plus some Partisanis MG42s, so getting some nice stuff out of the German strengths as well with that. All meaning that it is a division that you really have to fear. But 12 SS at the moment is one of the best, if not the best, Panzer division. So on an open map, it can hold its ground. The Sherman push here from Yue Jin is a bit scary though. That can pop up around with a nice flank. Then JKW might be in trouble. For now the 12-12 continues. Panzer 4 down the road goes down to the Emcha though. But the Panther now starting to engage the Shermans. Shermans have to be a bit careful. A lot of more Su-76s popping up. Nothing happening in the north so far. The Panther from the north also migrated to the south. Panther trying to hold the line over here. Now engaging in Su-76. Not sure. Yeah, Su-76 shouldn't be in that engagement. Tries to get out now. Shermans setting up in the forest over here. No Panzer tracks or anything near there. But more Panthers hitting the field. As does a Focke-Wulf. And here we go. Su-76 over here holding. This 3 also engaging the Panzer Grenadier. And, well, rebound, it's not about the best meme division. And even then, Lovash wouldn't be on the top. Lovash is maybe the top in our hearts. But it's for sure not the top out there anymore. I know it's sad. It always makes me cry nearly when I have to see the state of the current Lovash. Especially if you compare it to launch Lovash. But yeah, it had a mighty long fall from Grace. It's really kind of sad. Meanwhile, the Panther gets sniped here by the Emcha from the side. Nice setup by Yue Jin. Nice playing around this tree line. Doing a bit of a slalom around it. Pushing in with more Emcha. Panther D over here though. Holding down the Guardias on the open here. So the push of Yue Jin into the town down here might be getting stopped by that. And the Emchas still have to struggle against more Panthers and Flak 41s. Yeah, the Panther D is holding well over here. One Sherman already dying. The second one tries to get out, but will get killed off as well. Su-76 dying here as well. It's a bloody push for Yue Jin, and he seems to lose it. He got one Panther, but he lost 2 Shermans already down here. He lost 2 Shermans up here as well, I think. And, yeah, 2 Shermans and an Su-76. So, push really not going that well. Nice holding on here by JKW. Not being too panicked after losing his one Panther. Just playing it clean through from out from there. Flak 41 still might go down here. Yeah, Emcha has it pinned down. It's not over. The danger is not completely thwarted. It's still there, but it is way smaller than it was 3 minutes ago when these Shermans down here were there for the flank. Yue Jin should have retreated them for a while and then get in there for the next flank. Always keep them around here to threaten with another flank for either side of the forest, but instead he pushed, let them on the edge of the forest, and the Panther D was able to pick them off. Bit of a sloppy micro there from Yue Jin. Not quite on his A game so far when it comes to micro and positioning. He is, but you can't see his, well, his amazing game knowledge and his good base ideas on play. Guardias over here getting engaged by the Panther D. Panzer Grenadier, Hitlerjugend once more coming in. And the Flak 41 replacement hitting the field as well for JKW. Who was playing a bit of a Bellegarde division here. Not only mirroring the Vanguard income here for Yue Jin, so he has enough points to hold on, but not really intending of pushing anywhere in the early game. But really more about getting into the late game and then using his supreme combined arms against Yue Jin to get the victory. Panzer 4 leaders now coming in as well. Quite a couple of Panzer 4s overall hitting the battlefield. 2 over here should be able to deal with the Su-76. Ooh, they're engaging now onto the Emcha. That's a big mistake. So, the Su-76. First, Panzer IV is bailed out. The combination of MCHA and Su-76 is really dangerous for Panzer IVs, as they focus Shermans on auto fire, so you have to micro them onto the Su-76s. Because Su-76s are the way bigger danger on the long ranges compared to the Sherman. The thing that made them good when they were meta, it was insanely good infantry. The rifle damage output before it got nerfed was really, really good. They had a good air tap as well, and back in the day, tank spam was even taken more literally than it is nowadays. Nowadays it's medium tanks, back then it was no matter what tanks, so you were seeing a lot of just light tank Toldi spam and so on, and people struggling with that. Combined with the really high DPS Hujaroks and Hujarok Golyorsk. So yeah, and what else? Oh, I think they also had really good off map that got nerfed. I think those are the three things that made them meta in season 1. Never the best of the Axis divisions, but wasn't top 3, top 5 back then. So, ooh, a BM8. Haven't seen that in like forever. So this is basically a Katyusha rocket launcher on a light tank chassis. I think it's a T-70 chassis, might be a T-60 or T-80 as well. But yes, a light tank chassis or something else. But it's a light tank chassis with a Katyusha rocket on top. So that's pretty helpful. Valentine's also not doing much, but he killed the Panzer IVs here. The Panthers are the issue though, and now the Panthers have the leaders next to them, so they're even better. And this makes the whole situation rather problematic on the long ranges. Yue Jin has to find a solution for that. One of his ideas are Su-85s, but on full range they're good, but they're not amazingly against Panther Ds. Because unlike the T-34-85, Panther Ds pretty easily penetrates them on max range. So the pen chances there are still heavily favored to the Panther, unlike the T-34-85 with its 40 extra frontal armor in comparison, where the Panther D really struggles on the long ranges as well to penetrate it. So yes, Su-85 is a good tank destroyer nowadays, but it's not amazing on 2000 meters against Panthers. Su-76 gets picked off as well, and Yue Jin seems to be a bit too focused on that headbutting strategy right now. Meanwhile, losing the flag in the north, JKW looking real strong right now. His combined arms is nearly set up. He lost another flag 41. Yue Jin at least picked that off. But Yue Jin is really low on tank. The tank numbers for JKW are higher. Plus he has better quality tanks. Plus he has airplay that is better than that of Yue Jin. And he is winning the north heavily. So, game is really not going well for Yue Jin. Pilsk West is one of the maps where we saw the 3rd Mechanized struggle a couple of times already. Because they really need to get those trades in from the get-go and not allow the enemy to combine arms. And on this map, it's a bit too easy for the enemy to just play a bit more defensive and get that combined arms up anyway. So yeah, we have the 3rd Flak 41 already on the battlefield. But there's still the mobile wagons, if you remember the deck that JKW... No, that's the deck from game number 2. This is the deck. He still has 4 Flak 41s and 2 mobile wagons, so it's not like he's running out of AA anytime soon. Plus he has the Focke-Wulf, so... Sure, it's a expensive loss there, but he killed so many tanks by now that it's still at least 50-50 in the trades, if not even favored into JKW's favor. Panther D now engaging AA of Yue Jin as well. Don't know if we want to push with the Panther D already here as JKW. I mean, he's pretty strong on the battlefield, and obviously he has the same income. So it might be already time to push here. But maybe he wants to set up his combined arms even a bit longer. Against 3rd Mech, you really don't have to rush it, because their combined arms just doesn't really get that much better. in the longer the game goes on. What they have is what they get, usually. They get it from the get-go, but they don't improve too much higher. But in the dirt fight, that 1v1 can often be that cost-efficient combined arms in the early game is really, really nasty to deal with. But JKW did a good job, so maybe just let him set up his artillery a bit, his AA a bit more, get him a couple more airplanes to really assert air dominance maybe as well. Kill a P-39 with a Focke-Wulf or so. And then get a couple more Panzer IVs in front of your Panthers and then push with that. And you should be Gucci here. JKW looking like he is in an absolute dominant position. Already getting a plane kill in the south now. This is a tough game for Yue Jin now. His pushes in the beginning in the south looked really promising, but he couldn't follow up on that. And this is always troublesome when you can't really get that foot in the door again with 3rd Mechanized on an open map. You need that one lane where you can pressure the enemy through, and like killing off the enemy Panther over here would have allowed that to follow in and just funnel units into the city and force JKW to take a fight after a fight there, or otherwise lose these 3 flags and go down to a 9-15. But with the Panther surviving here for all the time, Yue Jin wasn't able to do it. This Panther really basically saving JKW the game there. And now making him taking a heavy lead and a really dominant position here. Gets his first SK-18 on the field. This really doesn't look good for Yue Jin at this point. Pioneers coming in. He needs one good, amazing trade here. Turn it around. One more pedal to the metal move where he somehow gets two flags or so, and gets into a position where he actually can force JKW into fights, because at the moment JKW just doesn't have to take any of the fights that are not in his favor, and that's the issue here. E39 and 8 Cobra and 0 Cobra. Good old era Cobra. And really nice plane in War Thunder as well. Enjoyed playing this one a lot. I would say it's my most flown plane with the Americans, but I might be wrong on that. Also killed quite a lot of them with zeros, but yeah, they're an enjoyable plane if you're on the giving end of the 37mm and not on the receiving end. Meanwhile, airplanes of JKW come in, keep getting the traits in more and more into his favor, shifting the balance here even more. And the SK-18, oh no, it's on auto fire. Okay, yeah, this is auto fire once over the whole map. Not really efficient, especially as you already have radio. Just hit the front line here with SK-18. Would be way better job. Ooh, P-39 goes down to the Focke-Wulf. So another good engagement here for JKW. here we return to the sellout section of the stream. And me talking about Matcherino and how you can support the tournament by raising the war bonds without paying anything. All you have to do is visit the Matcherino website that I just shared in this chat. Go here, use the code SKL5, and 50 cents appear in the prize pool, basically out of nowhere. You basically can't print money that way. So play Germany 1927 and make that economy blow up, or at least that's what I think how it works. Don't ask any more questions, but you for sure can get money in here without paying anything, and that money will get paid out to someone in the end in the community who earns it through stellar play in the league. So yeah, it would be nice if we could get this a bit higher and get a bit closer to all these lovely stretch goals. Other ways are by buying something in the store, or if you feel really generous today, by just contributing money directly. So let's jump right back into game number 2, and let's talk about the decks that we will see in game number 2. As Yue Jin brings us the New Zealanders once more, and so far they didn't perform too well. We have seen them quite a couple of times, and on paper this deck should be really good. But on the battlefield, they still have to show that. The win record is not that amazing. I mean, they have the Raider sneaky AT guns, they have really good infantry with the leaders, they have Shermans, stack counts are also solid recon cars, the air tap is all you need, and still they somehow don't perform that great. So we will see if Yue Jin can change that, or if he will follow the trend. Whilst on the other side, JKW plays a division that we also have seen him a couple of times on by now. He will bring us Fallschirmpanzer Hermann Göring, which feels like a real JKW division. Nice recon and support tanks, and solid tank tab as well, with quite a lot of mediums, plus a couple of heavies. And then SK-18s, mortar half-tracks. Air tab is a bit light, but he even invested into more AA. The AA amount here is kinda insane. 2-star veterancy flak 38s on a flak supply transport, which also will get 2-star veterancy, so 4 2-star 20 mils basically, which is pretty nice. And then obviously some HMGs for holding the long ranges. So I'm a bit surprised to see the Valkyrie, as they are still not the greatest unit in my eyes, but they are decent by now. They have a solid availability, so I guess that's why we see them. And yeah, this is that. Let's jump right back into the game. We'll just unpause here, and then here we go. And the map this is all on is Brest West. So it should be a bit better for CQC Sherman division than Slutsk West, even though it's also a West map. But Brest West allows for quite a bit more CQC play. It is quite a bit more infantry centric than Slutsk West. So I see Yue Jin's division here having way better chances than his Sherman's division in the last match. But we will have to see if he actually can do it this time as well. He has quite a couple of 2-star Shermans showing up in the center, so that, I guess, is his push. Trying to get in here would be my best guess. To try to grab 3 flags. You always basically want to have your eye on a triangle of flags when you go for the aggression. You always want to go for that 59 as Vanguard. At least that potential 59. Like, if it's too hard, heavy of a resistance, you don't want to all in on it, usually. But always having the potential for 59 is good. Because 1311 is too slow. It's not really that dangerous. Most games get decided when one side gets to a 59 for a long enough time. 1311 usually isn't really that decisive of a factor. So this is a triangle that you can go for, or like a line that you can go for. The other way is maybe going for the south and one flag in the north, but or for this section of the map. But I think in my eyes this should be the best route of attack. The question is, will JKV also see that this way and will have his most heavy defensive around this section as well? It doesn't look that way just yet. Most of his forces so far are deployed in the north, actually. So that should be interesting. You want to use the Flak 41s a bit closer to the front line, but you don't want to have them as a anti-tank unit per se. It's more of a zoning tool to keep enemies from just running into you in a special section. But it's AA unit first, anti-ground unit second. You don't want to have them as your primary ground unit because they take extra damage on the ground. But they are still a good zoning tool against also infantry or so that just runs in there. And on 2000 meters they can shoot them then and stop them from getting anywhere. So, and against light and medium armor they're obviously also effective against low numbers. But against like 3 Shermans, the Flak 41 is pretty inefficient. So you don't want to have them as your real AT option. You just want to have them as a support zoning tool. Stack count comes in the north. 6-pounder coming in the south. Shermans pushing through the center. Spandau versus MG42 on the other side as well, but they're just so slightly out of range. As that stupid getting unloaded just in time. Stack count versus 233 is a pretty close matchup as well. The stack count wins it this time. The stack count in the center might be able to kill the Pak 40. JKW realizes this in time though, so unloads it now. A lot of Shermans showing up there. Only 2 Catrodomes in the south together with 6-pounders, so a bit lighter push in the south. But already going up to 1410 is Yue Jin here, so if he gets this flag, it's a 15-9. And that would be trouble for JKV. 15-9 already puts you on quite a tough timer, so you have to react to that. 32 minutes is not too much, 60 minutes is quite quickly. That's something you will have to respect. So, we should try to either capture another flag or keep on holding onto this one. Guess retaking this one though shouldn't be too hard for now, but we will have to see. One of the Shermans of Yue Jin gets separated though, and gets caught alone by the Pak 40. 2 penetrations in it looks like by the Pak 40, but both with APCR, so the Sherman still is down to 2 hit points, and not dead yet. 59 for Yue Jin now has occurred, so wow. He is down to 60 minutes. Hey there, Tiger, how you doing? That wow somehow really got into my bones. That was a surprising wow. Don't know why, but felt really awkward first, then it felt good, because Owen Wilson vows are just a pretty calming sound, feels like it's something, it's the best wow out there, that's for sure. 59 now for Yue Jin, with the New Zealanders. Can JKV push on and get it somewhere else? Avangard Pioneers pushing in the north, Valkyrie coming in there as well. Stack count though will help out the Obletus, but the Obletus should go down first as well. The HE output of the stack count isn't too amazing. More Panzer 4Gs coming around. The Valkyrie easily should retake this hill, as there's no real forces for Yue Jin to actually hold it, so that will bring it back to a 10-14. Which eases the whole situation for JKV by quite a bit. Here we go. Gets the flag back. Shermans now engaging the Valkyrie over here. Taking it out. Panzer 4 coming around though. Getting already 1 penetration in on the Sherman. Sherman has to retreat. A single Sherman should not take the fight either. The other Sherman with turret stack retreated home. So we have now the one at the front fall. The third one is falling back. 4th and 5th Sherman coming in the south as well, together with 2 6-pounders. Oh, but wait, what got the Sherman over here? Oh, the Flak 41. The Flak 41 sniping the Sherman over here. I guess that's what happened. Maybe it was the Panzer IV. Line of sights are a bit iffy in this area of the map. But nice kills there for sure for JKW, who brings it back to a 12-12 thanks to a nasty half-track. Running around the Oblidas, taking 2 flags in the center. Really nice move there. Jagdpanzer also engaging Sherman in the south. Will most likely go badly for the Sherman. Sherman has to disengage this, but Yue Jin not reacting just yet. Seems to be busy in the center. Brings in the stack count for the half-track over here, but the Sherman really has to disengage here. Now he realizes it, brings the 6-pounder around, tries to get the Sherman out of danger. So far no penetration happened on it, so far it's fine. 11-13 now for Yue Jin though. JKW actually the guy now on the tick, bringing it all the way around. Loses one Panzer IV-G in the center. The 222 also under attack by a stack count. Sherman here now in a 1v1 with the Panzer IV. Panzer IV gets a penetration in. 6-pounder engaging the Jagdpanzer. Not quite sure how that goes on long range, but I would guess the Jagdpanzer should be relatively safe there. Stack count pushing back the half-track. Yue Jin brings it back to a 12-12, but this move with the half-track was really good by JKW, saving him quite a couple of points there in the long run. ME-109 should be able to hit the 6-pounder down here. And the Spitfire on the other side coming around. Get the ME-109. Okay, goes head ahead. Not something he should have done there as JKW. He should have microed himself out of the way there. But he got the kill onto the 6-pounder at least. So Jagdpanzer is safe for now in the south. But at the meantime, the Pak 40 here was on a north spot. Got killed off pretty instantaneously by Yue Jin without dealing much damage. Panzer IV gets killed off by a 6-pounder. So Yue Jin once more getting some good trades here. And this game is going back and forth so far. A lot of trades happening so far. A lot of casualties on both sides. Sherman numbers has been reduced by quite a bit. But Panzer IV number is down to 0 for now. There are Jagdpanzers. There's one Panzer IV in the north actually. So I gotta take that back, but nothing really happening in the north. Stack count finally able to kill off the half-track, bringing Yue Jin back up to a 59. Straight back to a 59 here. So JKW now on the timer again. Yue Jin in the lead. This is a lovely game. This is once more a really nice Division 1 game so far already. I'm optimistic that it will stay this way. A lot of action on both sides. Nice moves as well, like the half-track move up here to capture 2 flags. Moving around the Oblidas to not get hit by grenades or anything. So really well done there. Oblidas against Valkyrie over here, but the Valkyrie is on its own. Oblidas are moving though. Oh, and the second Oblidas hasn't moved up yet, so the Valkyrie in a 1v1 situation will win. 2 versus 1 though, not so much. So the second Valkyrie should come around. JKW not realizing it just yet though. Mitralexis is returning back to base to come in another time. Panzer IV winning the engagements against the stack counts in the north. Both stack counts down now. Good victory there for JKW. Might be able to endanger the supply routes of Yue Jin in the north. Brings in a Sherman and another stack count. Stack count once more engaging over here onto the Ersatztruppen. And another Ersatztruppen trying to help out, but the Oblidas so far are holding on. MG42 though engaging, and with the MG42 the Oblidas will get pinned down. And that might allow the Ersatztruppen, yeah, allows the Ersatztruppen to get the 10-14 back. Making it an easier job here for JKW to get into the later stages of the game. Stack count over here gets sniped off by the Jagdpanzer. Second one doesn't get hit so far. Sherman in the north though falls to the Panzer IV-G. Good kills there by JKW. I really enjoy his armored division play. His German Panzer play. is a nice one. It's quite different to what we see from the other Division 1 players. That's really enjoyable. German 3s in the forest here. JKW actually bringing it back to a 12-12. Really not where Yue Jin wants to be here. But he gets a kill onto his units in the south, and so far the trades haven't been bad for Yue Jin. They are way better than they have been last game, so there is for sure potential on still for him here to get this game home, as both sides are on Vanguard, so it's not like he has to finish it off in time. He only has to keep JKW's combined arms down somewhat. JKW nearly getting a double Sherman kill there. Last second move of one of the Shermans saves it though. Mitra Lexus trying to come again once more to kill off the JU-75. The Flak 41s most likely will prevent that though. And Yue Jin turns off as well. So 12-12 is on. Aplidis and more Katradomis coming in. Jagdpanzer moving forward. A Spitfire will get pushed back here by the Flak 41. But Sherman now trying to... Oh no. Pretty sure that wasn't on purpose. That this Sherman is here engaging and dueling a Flak 41. Not what you want to have happened as Yue Jin here, who is down to an 11-13 as the north starts to collapse here. 6-pounder is on its own now. So the Ersatztruppen should be able to finish it off. Oblitas tried to come in, but the Panzer IV is still threatening the reinforcement roads. Their count here trying to help out as well against the Ersatztruppen, but the 6-pounder is in trouble, and with the 6-pounder falling, JKW can't push in the north. So, once more, JKW doing a really good job, getting his combined arms up, getting his infantry in the right spot, and then just letting the push of Yue Jin fizzle and counter push on the right spots, like in the north. Those kills on the stack counts and so on were really nice. Yue Jin down to an 11-13 here. Brings in 25-pounders. Interesting. Loses one of leaders already in transport though once more. And another Jagdpanzer is around in the south against Katadromus, Oblidas, and so on. Bedford gets killed off in the north by the Panzer IV as well. Sherman coming around. Yue Jin really a bit sloppy on his micro today. Not quite on his A level, I must say. It doesn't look as hot as he did in earlier seasons in that regard. Hopefully he steps that up. It may be already in this game, but for sure throughout the season. Panzer IV-G here now will engage the Oblidas. 11-13 continues. So Yue Jin now on the 30-minute timer. Loses 2 more Oblidas. Gets the Panzer IV kill finally. But that was another bloody loss there. A lot of infantry down. And 2 Oblidas are worth, like, 1 Panzer IV is worth 2 Oblidas. So with getting 3 or 4 killed in transport, the Panzer IV absolutely paid off already. Plus, additionally, obviously, it also killed the stack counts and so on. So that Panzer IV did a lot of value. That earned a lot of value for JKW. Pity Hawks hitting the Panzer IVs over here. Starting to deal some damage. Killing with the one in the center, actually. So good kills there. More Shermans coming around. More Shermans coming around. 25-pounders in the north. Hitting the Flak 41 though. And they are in radio range, so they're really accurate. So the Flak 41 should most likely go down here. Nice snipe there by Yue Jin. If he actually can finish it off. Obviously down to RNG right now. Oh no. Kinda unlucky there. As the Flak 41 is now moving out of the circle. Oblidas trying to come around down in the south. JKW is looking strong here. Even though this is not his favorite map, I'm pretty sure. This is not the best map for German tank divisions. But he is making it work so far. Keeping Yue Jin at home, and second New Zealanders has a similar problem as third Guards tank corps. It's also not too deep in how much it can improve in the combined arms section. Meanwhile, the Panzer Göring, Panzerhammer Göring can get quite a lot of different units that help out with combined arms. So, Yue Jin is still in trouble here. Gets up back to 12-12. Can he find a way to break through JKW, or will JKW take the whole series here? That would be really devastating for Yue Jin, and might be an indicator that he actually could be dropping once more this season. After dropping in Season 3, bringing his way back in Division 4, back to Division 1, he has to really claw his way through this group stage if he wants to stay in this division. It's not the easiest task to ask for sure. Only the skin. Only that it has a name and a different skin. Like, you can see, this is another skin than the normal Spitfires. But it's only indicating that it is a special pilot. They don't have any extra bonuses. They just replace a normal module. The Aces. 25 pounder. Continuing here. I wonder actually if the Aces are somehow specially handled by Scout Spirit's mod. 3075, if you can actually make anything special for them in that regard there. Both Shermans might go down here, only one going down, but the other one should be damaged, right? They at least falls back. No, it's actually not damaged, but still, nice run there with the JRT-75, killing off a Sherman. Yue Jin still trying to break through, but the combined arms once more here, really strong by JKW. 25 pounder is still not able to finish up the Flak 41 over here. Now it tries it with the Kiat right there, so 13-11. 22 minutes still on the clock for JKW, so he's not really on that much of a timer. It's still quite a lot of time, especially after minute 16. Well, some of them come in units that come in with forced veterancy merit, but they don't get any bonus, as it would be pay to win if they would get any special bonuses. So, no, they are just units. There's no extra modifiers, it's basically like, yeah, it's basically like skins, in addition to the normal skins already in the game. As you also can change the color for some of your units. But yeah, he for example has these two Greek flags in the front, Mitralexes, that the normal ones don't have. They also have a different normal color scheme, if I remember correctly. The Mediterranean Spitfire. Ooh, Flak 41 over here drops. Next Flak 41 gets hit over here. Can Yue Jin make the airplay happen? That would obviously be real strong. At the moment he's not doing too well in the tank-on-tank combat, and he's not doing amazingly in the infantry combat either. So he needs a win. Killed off the Flak 41 over here, and this is a nice start. Now the SK-18s will most likely, yes, they counter-battery him. But he can't bring in air now. Luck feeling hitting field in the north. Yeah, JKW is really once more playing his defensive playstyle, not going onto any big offensive, not completely turtling, but trying to get his combined arms up here, as always. Pushing a bit in the north, where he saw that Yue Jin is weak, but he always lets the enemy do the first move. Which against Nilla didn't really work out at all. Against Yue Jin, so far it does. But I could still see Yue Jin break him here. Maybe he is weaker against Maverick. Maybe Maverick really is his weak spot. But we will have to see through the rest of the season how it goes. And if Yue Jin maybe can get the victory here, obviously it's not decided just yet at all. But the amount of Shermans dropping is quite worrisome. Also, the 25 pounders now get countered by an SK-18, which is pretty accurate, so you have to be careful with them as well. They can't just pin down all the different AA pieces and AT pieces. 11-13. Yue Jin in trouble. Kitty Hawk now coming in onto the MG42 over here. Another Kitty Hawk in the south onto the 222. Feel like good targets, but not amazing. Oh, especially as the Spay Wagon is moving over here. The other Kitty Hawk gets forced back with weapon jams and might actually get killed off here by the quadruple. Yeah, one Kitty Hawk goes down, so this is really bad for Yue Jin. As he brings on more infantry. More Obletus. Obletus, Obletus, Obletus. Does the Jagdpanzer actually get the win here? Yeah, it does. Together with the MG42. So Yue Jin is crumbling in the north as well. Spitfire coming in with bombs in the north. Should do a good job there. Trying to get the MG support in that forest a bit lower. Oh, nice. Gets the HMG kill there. More tanks coming in for Yue Jin. Meanwhile, on the other side, we see some more Flak 41s. So, AA is still the big focus of JKW here. One of the reasons why he usually doesn't push as quickly, because he has investments like that don't affect the front line too much, but they affect how the enemy can play, so it's just as valuable, I think. 25 pounders moved a bit around. What are they going after now? They're going after... Wait, what? Okay, they changed targets. They changed to down here. Another J87D5 though coming in. And there's only one Bofors remaining, and it's not anywhere near. This J87D5 is going. Kill off the last Sherman up here. 27 minutes on the clock for Yue Jin. And JKW looks like the dominant force here. More Shermans setting up for Yue Jin in the rear. But can he actually freak through as more and more Flak 41s come in? And so on, so... This looks troublesome for Yue Jin. This looks really troublesome. Meanwhile, I will stand up. Hopefully, internet connection will stay on and my LAN cable stays in. So, looks fine. Because, yeah, starting to feel that my body wants me to stand. Otherwise, he says goodbye and good night again. Don't want to have that happen one more. Kitty Hawk coming in here for MG42. Meanwhile, I try to get my blood flow back up here so I can hypecast maybe a bit more. But right now there is not much to hypecast. There's just quite a lot of analytical work. The 25 pounders being one of the best units in Yue Jin's roster here. So yeah, any artillery piece under 85, 90 points is worth considering, and the 25 pounder is one of the best of these because it has a really good rate of fire. It has 8 HE shells per minute, so for gun of this caliber this is pretty decent. Even has it as each AP shells, so those are not that amazing. 11-13 continues here. Looks like JKW might be able to keep this on the board this way, as more and more AA come into the front line. So this is quite a bit of position. Spitfire down here, retreating. Guess he has units like this because he wants to set up a trap onto the enemy airplanes, which would be interesting. Would be interesting. Spitfire flying around in the skies. Valkyrie and the Glide Grenadiers out in the open. And the 17 pounder hitting the field in the north. And there we go, another follow. Thanks there, Popienos. Much appreciated. Also, Kipiti. I missed you earlier, 30 minutes ago. Thanks for the follow as well. Sorry for not having the shout out back then. But yes, welcome to the channel. That follower game is going well lately, not gonna lie. Panzer IV over here gets hit. No, wait, what? And the SK-18 finally does its job in counter battery. Starting to kill off the 25 pounder over here. So Yue Jin has to be careful about his 25 pounders while still being down 11-13. He has to find a way out here. He has to find a way out. Lead is coming up once more. AA batteries getting smaller, but there's still the flak feelings, there's still the training mills, and there's still quite a lot of 88s that can come in. And with the 25 pounders getting killed off, the flak 41s should stay safer as well. So yeah, the Shermans don't really seem to do it. Overall, lately the Sherman performance in in Steel Division League hasn't been too hot over the last couple of days that we casted. Both in Division 1 with the T-34-85s absolutely destroying the ones of Trey Fox, or like in the last game, or in Division 3 and 5 and so on, where we for example saw Roguish Tiger playing with Sherman divisions like the 2nd New Zealanders, and it didn't work out. It didn't work out at all. So, interesting. Doesn't mean that the Sherman is weak or anything, but maybe people played a bit wrong. Or maybe people adjusted better to the counterplay. Jagdpanzer coming around here as well. Yeah, Bofors gets forced back over here, but got damaged. Meanwhile, 17 pounder comes up in the north, might be able to kill the Jagdpanzer. And that's the only AT in the north, so then the Sherman maybe can push in the north. And the north overall looks pretty weak. If Yue Jin can get a quick push in the north, if Yue Jin can get a quickie in the north, in there, then he could get 4 flags there. And even 5 flags. Can he make it? Ooh, JOT-75 once more gets through though. Bofors is too far back and in the light forest, so it can't really do much with it. So, yeah. And it looks like JKW is now realizing the situation in the north, and Spitfire here will not be able to catch up with the JOT-75. Yeah, Yue Jin now realizing that as well. It means he bought a 2nd fighter, so that's another investment into something that doesn't capture him the ground. And JKW keeps the 13-11 up. 25 pounders now try to hit something over here, but the SK-18... Oh no, wait, what? The SK-18 is actually hitting the 17 pounder in the north. Interesting. Interesting. Not really doing much there. The 17 pounder sure got pinned a bit, but now is falling back. Meaning there is not much damage dealt there. I would have expected the SK-18. Yeah, now it's returning back to under batterying. Units over here get hit by a 25 pounder quite a bit. But the SK-18 is dangerous. Jagdpanzer returns to the north as well. Oblivious coming in against the Ersatzschuppen. They should be able to take 1 flag back, but 4 more flags, more Shermans and so on would have been needed. I have a hair somehow coming close to my mouth. And 17 pounder and 6 pounder coming around right here. more and more Obletus streaming through the middle, and really the issue of the Obletus being not having any anti-tank, and that's maybe like one of the issues I see with the current builds of the second New Zealanders, that nobody brings any stuff around that has a Piat to help out the Obletus, or like other anti-tank, and having only infantry without AT is really annoying. Like, you at least need your leaders or so to have some infantry AT to help you out in light forest against something like a 222 or so. So, like, that's something I have different in my New Zealanders, and that's maybe something that people have to consider when they build their decks, that infantry AT, at least on some of your units, is quite important. So either bring either normal, different normal infantry squads, or bring some leaders and so on that bring AT to the battlefield to help out your infantry squads in that struggle. SK-18 didn't get the kill there. 25 pounders now running away from each other. Spitfires coming in the north. Will hit the HMG. HMG tries to dodge though, so might not. No, it still goes down. 12-12 is back on the menu here. Lloyd Carrier gets killed up over here. And the 6-pounder tries to return the fire. Force behind there. Another 25-pounder coming in here for Yue Jin. So is that his goal here? Making it a long artillery game. Another Flak 41 hits the battlefield. Meanwhile, the two Kitty Hawks try to make their run onto the HMG. Up here, get the kill there as well. So nice strike there by Yue Jin. But obviously with more AA coming around, that will get harder once more. Meanwhile, Obletus pushing onto Valkyrie. The Clyde Grenadier is in the forest as well. 12-12 continues. German moving around over here. Game slowed down quite a bit. Bofors, though, is getting sniped here. Gets killed off. 6-pounder tries to kill off the Jagdpanzer. But nice snipe there by the mortar half-track. Mortar half-tracks with radios are just really, really, really dangerous. So, yeah, just as you could see there, one salvo can take out something like a Bofors, especially if it's already at half health. And now JKW is trying to push in over here, and so far it's going well. Gets the 13-11, gets good infantry traits as well. So, Yue Jin under struggle here, in where he pushed in earlier this game. Tries to pin down the Clyde Grenadiers, but they finish off the Obletus first. And the Mitral Axis is forced back once more. At least the Jagdpanzer 4 gets killed off in the north, so that's a win there for Yue Jin. Maybe he can still push in there, but the center is deteriorating. And the disintegration of the center would spell doom onto Yue Jin's game here. So he has to be really careful about how to approach it. Can't really push in the north till he has the situation in the center figured out. And that will be a tough one. JKW really in a nice spot right now, and just as with third mechanized, the combined arms of second New Zealand just doesn't get that much better the later the game goes. So yeah, JKW really on a good way here to maybe getting another victory with his mortar half-tracks. The SK-18 also helping out, so it's not really effective as counter batterying. Was close to getting this 25-pounder killed, but didn't. So Yue Jin can still fire back onto him. German coming around over here. Imagine being Quadro U, spamming medium tanks all game, whining about medium tank meta, and then falling the 3 25-pounders artillery spam. You have more investment into medium tanks at the setup of your games, Quadro U, than this is after 33 minutes in game in artillery. artillery spam doesn't start before you at least have 5 units on the battlefield. So, this is not artillery spam. "25 pounders, not quite doing the job. Well, the medium tanks didn't work out for Yue Jin in this game, that's for sure. So he tries to find another way. And he tries to find it with his 25 pounders, and so far they did a good job. Just everything else didn't. I mean, he sniped 2 Flak 41s with it, so they already paid off with that. But his Sherman play, they just got killed off quite easily. Both sides sniping each other's AA with the artillery, and that's what artillery is there for in 1v1. And, I mean, they also don't have the really big guns, they have the more affordable SK-18s and the 25 pounders. And that's actually a price range where artillery is still fair. Where you can still afford them if you actually use them to deal with the enemy. Mortar half-tracks also with 100 points. But everything above 100 points is hard to justify in a 1v1. Flak 41 here beating back the Kitty Hawk. Spitfire coming in with bombs on the Valkyrie. Gets the hit there. 17-7 now though for JKW, as Yue Jin is disintegrating in the south. Yeah, the German Oblitus spam didn't really work out at all. And it's really makes me wonder, like, where is the future of second New Zealanders? Because they really seem to struggle win rate wise in this season so far. And it makes me wonder if it's the play style of the players with it, or if the division isn't that good after all. If the Oblitus was overhyped, and if you maybe need a bit more than just Shermans in your tank tab as well, like some Fireflies, some Su-76s or so, to help them out. Also, so far the win record is not that great. Well, actually pretty bad, at least from what we have seen on stream. The mortar fire and SK-18 fire returns now, hits the 25 pounder, kills it instantaneously. One more Spitfires flying around. Leaders coming in the south. And Oblitus coming in the north as well. Kitty Hawk joining in as well. Coming up onto the MG42. So do the Spitfires. Gets the kill there. Black feeling. It's just a Spitfire as well. JKW looks like he's on a solid way here with his 16-8. Artillery commander coming in the north, but the 16-8 I don't think is reversible with the division that Yue Jin is on right now. With losing 25 pounders, having no AA, so the JU-75s can come in time and again. And also having a lot of Jagdpanzers holding down the lines where the Germans could pop up. Jagdpanzer is doing a really good job here, together with the JU-75 for JKW. Those two units might be the MVPs for him in this match. Spitfire comes around once more, trying to kill off the JU-75, but with like 41s, might be able to prevent that, as there's also more 20 mils with high veterancy here as well. Oh no, it's actually going for a run. Gets its bombs off. German dies though. MG42 goes down, but still a 59 here for JKW. With 222 is down here in the forest. Mortar half-track. Actually trying to snipe the Shermans now. Dealing them some damage there. 25 pounder gets killed by the SK-18. JKW stays up on the 59. Another Sherman coming in here by Yue Jin. 59 continues. Deck count right now. Engaging over here. Not doing too well. Yeah, I think Sherman divisions also dropped heavily with the appearance of the T-3485 as a counter. Like, everyone is talking about how T-3485s really destroyed Tigers and Panthers, but Tigers and Panthers already weren't really on the meta before. But I like how T-3045s at the moment counterbalance Shermans. I'm not saying it should stay the way, and it is like there shouldn't be anything done about the T-3045 because they counter Shermans. I think both of these units are a bit too good and should rather be nerfed so that Tiger and Panthers can come up. But at the moment, the variety in divisions we see in the league is quite good, and also the win records on divisions is quite good, and that is really nice to see. Also, divisions get played quite differently. We see different incomes as well. Maverick showing up with Nilla and so on, getting victories there as well. And Vanguard, obviously, though, being the major income still, which is both through to playstyle and also through to power level. So maybe Vanguard has to get nerfed a bit. But yeah, at the moment, I don't think the meta is as bad as people always tell. I mean, people love to cry about the meta, no matter the video game, but currently, it's quite flexible in Steel Division, I think. And I enjoyed this season really quite a bit. Might be the best meta that we had in a Steel Division League season so far. And Spitfires showing up in the south. Kitty Hawk in the north, gets onto the Valkyrie, gets the hit there, gets the kill. JKW still up to 1410. It doesn't really look like it will change much. I mean, Yue Jin's Air Force gets through, but the trades on the ground are just not good. And the mortar half-tracks and the SK-18s deal just as much damage basically as the air units that come through, and the JH-75 makes all the Shermans scared, because there's no AA on the ground anymore, and the Spitfires cannot do much against the JH-75, because frontally they struggle, and they can't chase us because of all the AA, so they can be on a really good way here. Half-track gets killed off though, 6-pounder coming in as well. Yeah. People like to blame the meta, no matter the game. Like StarCraft 2, I also see myself crying there about Zerg time and again whenever I lost against him. And instead of, because it's easier to blame the meta than blaming yourself and saying, okay, I have to improve in my game. I mean, I don't say Steel Division 2 is perfect. By no means. Like, Shermans and T-3045s are a bit overperforming, but you will always have overperforming units. Nice kill here on the Shermans. And there will always have to be balance work done. Just alone to already shift the meta so that it doesn't get stale at some point. But the current one is one of the better ones that we have in Steel Division history so far. Infantry has its place. Air spam isn't completely obnoxious anymore as it was last season. I mean, we don't see 6 airborne banned and all the time, and still we don't see 6 airborne picked all the time in the ones where it doesn't get banned, so there is something to that as well. So yeah, the gameplay balance at the moment looks quite nice. Infantry spam is still a good option. The only thing that is a bit lackluster maybe are the heavy tanks. The super heavy tanks also have their place. IS-2s and King Tigers show up quite often, but Panthers and Tigers and maybe something like KV-85s and so on, not as much as they should. Like those Yue Jin will have to look into, but I guess the range rework will be a buff to them. It at least should be on paper, so I'm not too worried about that either. 1410 right now for JKW. I'm pretty sure Tigers and Panthers will have their time to shine as well at some point. As will Yue Jin. It is not this game though. Yeah, JKW kind of dismantled his second New Zealanders here. Pretty impressive defensive play there. Wouldn't have expected Hermann Göring to do that well against a Sherman division on pressed west, but JKW found the right spots, got the right kills. The early game was a bit iffy, but then he really found his way in and got some really good trades. The J87s did amazingly. If we gonna check here, this Panzer IV also killing off a lot of Applidas, and yeah, Some of the leaders might have been actually close enough to maybe get off a Piat or so, but they sadly don't have one. But yes, this is a big issue here. You can't let a JR-75 kill 6 of your Shermans. That's just not that's just not healthy. On the other side, we have Stackhounds doing a lot of work as well, though, in the north. The Spay Wagons really didn't do anything in the early game there. So it's not like Yue Jin didn't do anything, but the mid game, or like the later early game, let's put it that way around, just didn't went well at all. And from there on out, JKW kept him on a distance, and then when Yue Jin was struggling too much, he just pushed him off the map. So GGVP here to JKW in the first series of the day, taking it 2-0 over Yue Jin. The next series that we will cover is Wesley versus Jada Boy. So stay around, stay tuned. See you all there in 5 minutes.